What's up, guys? Truck Driver 101 today, and basically what I want to talk about today is I got a comment on one of the videos, and they said it was talking about how to get to a living wage. They were complaining about how much they get paid and everything else. Guys, when you go into a new profession, you got to get out of this mindset that I showed up and you're supposed to give me $1 million. Doesn't work that way. What you get paid per mile is not finite in stone. It really isn't. You can get paid more, but you got to find out where the value is. This is why I tell you guys in my book and in many videos, you need to know what's being hauled in your state. These are the things that will lead you to success. What will not lead you to success is whining, crying, and sitting on your ass. That's not going to lead you to success. And so, instead of whining, crying, and talking about what they're paying you, figure out where you need to be so you can get more money. And that requires talking to people. And that requires not shutting down like most drivers do and saying, this is the only thing possible. That's not going to lead you anywhere. There's numerous possibilities. Maybe you went to the wrong company for your state or your local area, and maybe you need to go to a new company. There is no specific one company to go to, and it's going to be good everywhere. It's all about what does that company have in your area, and where's the value? What value do you bring? That is what you get paid. When I was a new driver, I was driving on what was called back then Zone 7. Zone 7 went across the border all the time and came back. Now, I did that, okay? Now, that was fine for a while, but I wanted more money. Then I went to one of our accounts called General Mills. General Mills had this great account where I used to go from one point to another point. It was about 300 miles. It was great. It was pretty cool money. And I was home a little bit more. Then they offered me General Mills over the road. He was always trying to get me there, but they didn't have enough people, and they asked me to do it. When I did that, at this point, I went from beginning trucking miles to working on a dedicated account. Even when I started there, I was making 28. Then when I went to the dedicated account, I was making 32. But it was so many miles, I was making at least $600 to $700 a week. Okay. Then I started to train. Again, now I've worked my way into Werner's infrastructure. I'm doing an account no one wants to do, and I'm on the road about 2 weeks out. I'm making at that point anywhere from $1,300 to $1,400 training. If you're working I can't say that, from $1,300 to $1,000 training. But if you're working at a company and you want to be successful, you need to ask yourself, what does that company do? What does Werner Enterprises do? They work dedicated. They train people. So those are the two things that if I focus on and they have freight in my area, I'm going to do very well. What will I not do well on? Well, let's say I said I didn't want to train. That would still limit my funds. Let's say I didn't want to be out for 2 weeks on an account where they needed people. That would also limit my funds. That's how real life works in trucking. Okay? So standing around, bitching, moaning, complaining about how much they're paying you, it's not going to work. It just doesn't do anything. You need to get off your ass and get started. So get focused, get thinking, start making changes, and get focused, man. Change, find out what your company needs, and do that. That's the key to money. All right, guys, truckdriver101.com.